the 2024 Infiniti Q50. That's right, this car is continuing to stick around with us. Honestly, I am flabbergasted that this car continues to exist. It is like 10 years old now at this point. This has got to be one of the longest running production cycles for a modern day car. And to nobody's surprise, there's nothing new for the 2024 model year. It's just a carryover, and prices start at 43 grand or 44,200 with destination. And credit where credit is due, a base model Q50 Luxe does come really well equipped. There are 3 trim levels: the Luxe, the Sensory, and then the Red Sport 400. And if you want to get all-wheel drive, you can with any of those 3 trim levels. It's going to cost you an extra $2,000. But let's just quickly cover what you get with that base model Luxe. You got yourself leather seats, heated front seats, a heated steering wheel. You have wireless Apple CarPlay, but you have wired Android Auto. And you get the 16-speaker Bose audio system as standard with the Luxe. And you get 18-inch wheels. So really, you get everything that you need with the Luxe. So that is a good thing. However, this car is just so freaking old. I mean, yeah, a long time ago, back when I was in college, this car was something because it just came out. But 10 years later, still being sold as a new car without even one atom being changed. I mean, okay, just to calm down a bit, I think this car got a little refresh back in 2018, but for the most part, it's the same thing. And the same interior space with the dual screens. Yeah, that is wild that they still have this thing rolling on the road with hardly a refresh. But as I just mentioned, the Luxe isn't bad. You move up to the mid-level Sensory for a little under $49,000. Now you get 19-inch wheels, and you get things like open pore wood, the integrated navigation system, a advanced climate control with an air purifier. But for the most part, you're better off saving this money and getting the base model Luxe in either rear-wheel drive or just pay up for the all-wheel drive if you need it. Outside of that, just step up to the Red Sport, which starts at about $57,000 and around $60,000 if you go with the all-wheel drive with destination. And now you get the 3-liter VR Series twin-turbo V6 with 400 horsepower and 350 pounds-feet of torque. The base 3-liter twin-turbo V6 makes 300 horsepower and 295 pounds-feet of torque. But the Red Sport really is a massive step up in performance, and you also get upgraded brakes, 4 pistons in the front, 2 pistons in the back. You also get 19-inch wheels with dynamic digital suspension, which is your adaptive suspension. And if you are interested in buying this car in 2024, well, that's going to be your call. But right now on 2023 Q50s, I would not touch one unless you get 10% off MSRP across the board, even on the Red Sport. And one of the reasons you might want to consider getting one of these cars is to take advantage of their low interest rate leases. However, at the time I'm making this video, it's December of 2023. Leasing programs change every month, so I have no idea how the 2023 Q50 will lease in the future, or if you can even get a 23 to lease in the future. And we of course don't have 2024 numbers regarding the lease. But as of right now, in December of 2023, you lease any one of these cars, any of these trim levels, the interest rate is around 1%, in some cases even less than 1%. And that's a great thing. And also I will have a free leasing calculator linked in the description box below, provided to you by AutoCompanion. This is a powerful calculator because not only does it show you the interest rate of the lease, but it also shows you the various incentives that you can potentially qualify for, and it automatically loads up the tax for your specific region. So that's great. And the reason why a low interest rate lease is powerful is because if you have plans on keeping this car long term, you can take advantage of this low interest rate lease, and the majority of your payments, it's actually going towards the equity of the car. So at the end of a 3-year lease, if you want to keep the vehicle, you can buy it out at the end, perhaps purchase a extended warranty and keep it for like 10 years. Whereas if you just finance the car, traditional car financing and house mortgages, they always front load the interest. So the first few years of you financing the vehicle, you're making very little equity in your car. Most of your payments are going towards the interest and not the principal. Whereas you do a low interest rate lease like this, even though the payments are still pretty high, it's about $500 a month for an entry level $44,000 luxury model, and the red sports go for an eye-watering $700 a month. Despite those payments being really high for what this car is, at least those payments are going towards the equity of the car, your principal, if you will. And as of right now, I believe Infiniti still allows you to buy out the lease at the end. So if you still like the car, whatever the residual amount is that the dealership set, you can just buy the car for that price, and there you have it. If you qualify for Infiniti loyalty, like you have a Infiniti in your household right now, then you can get an additional $1,500 in incentives. Or if you have a Nissan, I believe, you should be able to get a $1,000 incentive as well. So that helps, but still these lease payments are very high. You can literally get an Audi S5 Sportback for around $700 to $800 a month, about the same price as this red sport. And you can get things like the Lexus IS 350 and the BMW 3 Series for maybe $600 a month, so not much more than a regular standard Q50. So if the payment is all you cared about, there's definitely other better alternatives. But if you have some plan of purchasing the car at the end of the lease, you might want to consider the Infiniti, but that's up to you. I will leave the AutoCompanion leasing calculator in the description box below. But for 2024, there are no new changes with the Infiniti Q50. But if you're an owner of one of these cars, let me know how it's been holding up for you. How's the dealership experience been? Have you had any issues with the twin turbo V6? I would like to hear your thoughts, but thank you so much for watching. Take care and goodbye.